Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing well on this Tuesday afternoon. That's right, team lists have been announced for this week's NRL footy. I'm going to go through my tips for the games coming up. Or I'm going to react also to the Warriors team that's been announced as well and give my thoughts. And we're going to go through my predictions and preview for the State of Origin game coming up tomorrow night as well between the Queensland Maroons and the New South Wales Blues. But before getting into it, guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you like the live stream, click that thumbs up button on the live stream, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and share this video, share this live stream around as well, guys, and feel free to put your comments through into the live chat, questions you have for me as well. So there is a bit of a mini Q&A, so if you've got any questions you have regards to this week's game, feel free to put them into the chat and I will definitely answer them. But guys, don't forget to like this live stream, like I said, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are getting close to 2,700 subscribers. We are 8 subscribers away, so help us get there to 2,700 subscribers. And subscribing is absolutely free as well. It helps the channel, gets aware about the content, and it's much appreciated as well. And hello to William Pearson. How's it going, William Pearson? Hope you're doing well. And hello to Jacko as well in the live chat there. But we'll actually get into it. We'll go through, and first things first, we'll actually preview the State of Origin first. And then I will go and give my reaction to the Warriors team list that has been announced. And don't forget, guys, also tonight I will be joined later on at 7:30 Australian time, 9:30 p.m. New Zealand time. Tune in for the preview. I've got Nick from Australia, NRL content creating Cowboys fan, Nick from Australia. We're going to preview the Cowboys-Warriors game later on tonight, so tune in for that one coming up in a couple of hours' time. So, yeah, make sure you tune in for that one as well. But we'll go into I'll have a chat about the State of Origin coming up, just give a bit of a quick preview, little preview, and a prediction for tomorrow night's massive clash, game 1 of the series in Sydney. Hello to Mel as well. So any new viewers who have just joining, please, guys, don't forget to give this live stream a like, click that thumbs up button, and also don't forget, if you are a new viewer to the channel, we are 8 subscribers away from 2,700 subscribers. So let's see if we can get there real soon. Over the next couple of days. And I'm trying to get to 3K subscribers by the end of the 2024 season. So help us out. It's absolutely free as well. And it all really does help the channel grow. Gets the word out about the videos as well. And Jacko's just saying Sean Johnson's still out. Hopefully he's back fully fit soon. And William Pearson is saying go the Queensland Maroons. So let's get into it. Let's straight into it. Let's get into it now. So we'll start off with the New South Wales Blues and Queensland Maroons team list, which were named a couple of weeks ago, but there have been some changes, of course, to the New South Wales team with James Tedesco coming in at fullback for the injured Dylan Edwards. So it's a bit gutting for the Blues there to miss Dylan Edwards. But Tedesco is a good player to bring into the side. So we'll go through their team here. So James Tedesco at fullback, Brian To'o on the wing, Stephen Crichton centres with Joseph Suali'i, Zach Lomax on the wing there. So we've got 2 debutants in Suali'i and Lomax. Jerome Luai 5'8" with Nicholas Hines. Captain is Jake Travojevic and prop, Reece Robson hooker, Payne Haas upper prop, Liam Martin second row with Angus Crichton and Cameron McInnes lock. The bench reads Isaiah Yeo, Hamola Olakau'atu, Spencer Leniu and Hudson Young, and the reserves are Matt Burton, Luke Keary and Mitchell Barnett. As for the Queensland Maroons, so we've got Reece Walsh at the fullback spot, Xavier Coates on the wing, Valentine Holmes centres with Hamaso Tebow Fidel in the centres, Murray Talangi on the other wing, Tommy Dearden gets the nod in the 5'8" spot for the injured Cameron Munster, of course, and David Sherry Evans halfback and captain. Ruben Cotter prop, Ben Hunt hooker, Lindsay Collins the other prop, and the second row of Jaden Sewer and Jeremiah Nanai. No David Fifita, of course, and he's been dropped altogether. So they have gone with Jaden Sewer. It's a bit of a big call there by Billy Slater, but Jaden Sewer did a great job in the series last year for the Maroons. So Fifita's form, look, hasn't been up to scratch this year, so that explains probably why he's gone with Sewer over Fifita. But Fifita has a strong game. in the Titans games coming up, then who knows, maybe he might be back in there. Patrick Carrigan lock. So the bench is Harry Grant, Moati Fotuaika, Jermaine Hopgood, and Selwyn Cobbo. In the reserves are Felice Kafusi, Brendan Piakura, and Ezra Mann. So that is the Maroons side. So just looking at it here, so this game is in Sydney at Accor Stadium tomorrow night. Now, I think the conditions there, I don't know, from what I've heard, looks like it's going to be, I think it's wet from what I remember. So I'm just actually looking to the Google here and have a look at the Sydney weather. But I think if it's wet, it'll definitely favour the Blues. Being on home territory, I think this is a must-win game for the New South Wales team, especially when you look at the fact that the next two games, one in Melbourne and one in Queensland as well. So I think for the New South Wales Blues, it's a fact that they have to get this win for me. I don't think this is a must-win for the Maroons, but looking at the conditions here, and it looks like it's going to rain tomorrow night in Sydney for this game. So I think that might actually favour the Blues more than it favours the Queensland Maroons as a whole. Because look, for me, the Queensland Maroons are a team that like the dry weather footy. They like the dry ground, and whether it's Sydney, of course, it always gets pretty dewy as well. So that will probably play into the hands of the New South Wales Blues, especially. Now, I know the Queensland Maroons are favourites at the betting, which I personally think we go in as the underdogs. I'm a Queensland fan, and I think we go in as the underdogs for this game. So I think for me, obviously, the key for the Maroons is obviously the likes of Reece Walsh here at the back. You've also got Tommy Dearden. How's Tommy Dearden going to go with Daly Cherry-Evans? That combination as a whole, how's that going to click? That's the most, for me, the most interesting thing that's going to come out of this game is how well those two click together. And Cherry Evans, of course, he always delivers on the Origin arena as well. So I think with Cherry Evans and Tommy Dearden, it's how they click together, how they combine with the outside backs of Rick, Walsh, Holmes, Hammer, Talangi. I think that is going to be so important for me. So I think definitely the key player is Cherry Evans, and for the halves and Tommy Dearden, and the for the backs it's definitely Reece Walsh for me, and the Hammer. Also the forward pack as well. You got Reuben Cotter there, and you've got Lindsay Collins, another two very important forwards for the Queensland Maroons. If they step up to the plate, they're going to give the Maroons plenty of go forward on the field as well. So I think those two are really important in terms of the forward pack. Paddy Carrigan as well at the lock position as well. So he is going to be massive for the Maroons as a whole as well. So as for the New South Wales Blues, look, I think for me, looking at it, Teddy back, how is he going to respond from that snubbing for the selection for the New South Wales Blues? He's back in there. If he has a big game for the New South Wales Blues, he may stay in the side altogether for the next game. So they probably won't drop him. They won't drop him if he plays well. So that's the thing. And he will want to make a statement in this game for sure. So I think for me that James Tedesco, he is going to be he's going to be in for a big one. He's definitely going to be in for a big game. And also, just looking at it, the biggest question mark I have for the Blues is Zach Lomax. How's he going to go on the wing? I'm a little bit surprised by the selection. Actually, really, I thought, at the start of the year, I probably said his form was good enough to be selected, but I'm going to be really intrigued to see how he goes, especially on the wing. And I think Queensland will look to expose the likes of Zach Lomax on that side as well defensively, because I don't think Lomax is the best defensive player in the NRL, and he has his moments as well. So I think when you think about it, he can have his rocks and diamonds moments, and that's the thing with Zach Lomax. So, he can be a consistent player, but he can also be a rocks and diamonds type player for me. So I think that'll be interesting to see how Queensland revolve their game plan, whether they do target Zach Lomax and Suaalii as well, Suaalii is a strong ball-carrying centre. He's really powerful. And I think, look, if if Queensland can nullify the likes of Suali'i, the likes of Crichton, To'o, those are the big important. Well, those are the key outside backs for the Blues. If they don't do well, then Queensland keep them quiet, then I think they're going to struggle really in that area. So, and the halves, how are they going to go? How is Jerome Luai and Nicholas Hines going to go as a combination? We haven't seen them as a combination before. So, Jerome Luai, we know he's been in the Origin before. He always has some big games, especially. So, it'll be interesting to see with no Nathan Cleary how those two combine as a whole in the field. So, yeah, really interested with the likes of that Hines and Nicholas Hines and Luai combination, Jerome Luai combination. But look, New South Wales, you look at their forward pack, they've got Jake Trbojevic here, a leader, a big leader in the pack for the Blues, and I think he will definitely be one of those very impactful leaders as well. Reece Robson at hooker as well, up against Ben Hunt, two very quality hookers in the NRL. Payne Haas, we know Payne Haas's qualities. Don't need to, explain how good his qualities are. So, yeah, Crichton, you got Crichton there, Liam Martin, Cameron McInnes. Cameron McInnes was, he's another debutant. He hasn't played for the Blues as well, so I think he will be, he'll be important as well for their go forward in the lock position as well. And he's been playing very well for the Sharks this year as well. So, just going through some of the comments here. So, Mal was just saying here, just go through some of the comments. Personally, I can't stand Walsh, but since he's playing for Queensland, hope he has a good game. And she's also says here that as a Kiwi, but previously leaving Queensland for Oz for years, I support Queensland all the way. Yeah, and I live in Queensland as well, so I am a Queensland Maroons fan, for those of you who are wondering who I support. And Jacko's just saying, as a Kiwi, apart from the pleasure of seeing Aussies play, I don't really care Origin. Yeah, fair enough, Jacko. That's your opinion. That's understandable. Personally, I love Origin. I love watching it. Even though I am a Kiwi, definitely, I'd rather prefer to see more Kiwi games over Origin, but I still love the Origin as well. So I agree, Jacko. Origin kind of pointless is like we have a North Island playing against the South Island. Yeah, fair enough. And Richard, hello to Richard in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. And he's just saying, hopes to see players destroy each other. But yeah, back to the game as a whole. Look, for me, I think this is probably a game where it could go either way. And I know Queensland, everyone's saying Queensland are the favourites, but I personally think we're the underdogs going into this one. You look at the fact that this is in Sydney, it's on Blues territory. Queensland don't have a good record in Sydney as a whole. And generally in game one, we're usually slow starters as well during a series. So I think for me, looking at it from my head, speaking as saying New South Wales will win. My heart is Queensland Maroons, definitely. So I think right now, if you're going to pick a winner for this game, it's probably going to be the fact that the New South Wales Blues will definitely, for me, start as favourites. But as a Queensland Maroons fan, I think we can get it done. So, yeah, it'll be a tough game. It'll be a tough game. I think this will be a really close, competitive match. I think the whole series as a whole will be competitive as well. And New South Wales, they want to send a statement out for the first game of the series at home in Sydney as well. So, yeah, it'll be a real tough game, in my opinion. Hello to Jose. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well yourself. He says, subscribe to the channel. That's right. Subscribe to the channel for all your Warriors NRL content. Appreciate that, Jose. Good to see you in the chat there. And Richard's saying, yeah, shit, I don't want Barney injured. No way, but the rest. Yeah, well, he's named in the reserve, so it doesn't look likely that he will get a game. It doesn't look like he'll get any minutes. So I don't think we've got a lot to worry about in terms of him actually playing this game. But, hey, if he plays, good on him. It'd be great to see. But also, look, I think if he doesn't play, which I, as a Warriors fan, of course, club fan, I wouldn't be too fussed as well. I'd love to see him, not play. But, hey, if he plays, good on him. Good on him as well. But, look, for me, just talking about this one and how I see this game goes, I'm going to go with the Queensland Maroons, guys. Queensland Maroons. I'm backing the mighty Maroons to kickstart the series off with a 1-0 series lead. So I'm going to go Queensland Maroons. I'm going to go by 6 points. In terms of the man of the match, who I reckon will be the man of the match in this game, I reckon it will be. I'm going to go Tommy Dearden, first game of the series, and I reckon he'll have a big one. So I'll go Tommy Dearden, man of the match for this game. First try scorer, we'll say, I think New South Wales will score first. I'm going to go with Joseph Suaalii in the centres. And for any time try scorers, I'm going to go with the hammer to score. Hammer Tibo Fidel. And I'm going to go with Xavier Coates on that wing. And we'll pop in to say that the forward, I think there'll be a forward that will score. And I'm going to say Lindsay Collins in that prop position as well. For the Blues, we'll go with Liam Martin. Why not? But Queensland Maroons to win for me. I'm looking forward to the game on Wednesday night. Can't actually wait for this game on Wednesday night. It should be a good one. But the match official is Ashley Klein. I see there, so hopefully there aren't any controversial decisions, and hopefully it's a good game to kickstart the series. But that's the Origin out of the way, guys. So that is the Origin out of the way. And Jose says, as a Maroons fan, I think New South will score first. Lomax first try. Yeah, that's a good shout, Jose. Really good shout there. But that's the Origin out of the way. Look, to be honest, obviously I'm going to be looking forward to the Origin, but I'm also looking forward to the game Saturday, which we will get into real soon and look at the team list. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, speaking of round 14 coming up, and the team lists have been named for the games. And, I'm going to go through and have a look at the Warriors team list first before we have a look at the other games that's coming around and give my tips for those games. So, we'll start off with the team list. Just give me a sec while I get up on the screen on my laptop here, just reading it out. So, here we are. This is the team list we're lining up with. Right, so fullback, Chance Nickel-Klukstad is back from injury. Dallin Watini-Zelezniak on the wing. Rocco Berry centres with Adam Pompey and Marcelo Montoya on the other wing. Chanel Harris-Tavita, 5'8", and Tamari Martin halfback. So still no Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson is not fully fit for this game this week. So, look, I was expecting them to be back for this game, but it looks like it may be a couple of weeks away. So if he's not fully fit, look, I think it's probably a good call not to risk him. You know, you don't want to redo his injury. You know, you want him to be fully fit for, the back end of the season. So I think that's the right call. Tamari Martin and Chanel Harris-Tavita in the halves. And I think, look, the fact of the matter is the last couple of weeks have shown that both of them deserve to be picked on the side altogether. So obviously with Sean coming back, one of those two will miss out. So yeah, I think it's a good call by the coach to not play Sean this week, and hopefully he's fully fit and ready for the next couple of weeks as well. Adam Fanua-Blake is back, so he returns from his stand down protocol thing, and he's back at prop there. Wade Egan's back, good, huge in for us there with him returning to the side. Jackson Ford has been named at prop, and Murata Niokore in the second row with Mitchell Barnett. And Tohu Harris returns from injury, and he is a lock there. Dylan Walker is on the bench on the 14 with Jazz Tavanga, Tom Ale, and Kurt Capewell. The reserves are Freddie Lussick, Tane Tuapiki, Bunty Afoa, Edward Cozy, and Moala Graham Tafua there. So the outs this week for this one, Jacob Laban, Paul Roach, and Zion Ma'u for the team there. So that's the lineup for the Warriors. So just getting into the chat, guys. So we'll get back into your questions. So Jacko is saying, on a side note, the great Mark Graham's son is making a film about Mark's life from real humble beginnings to the top of the league afterwards. Look out for it real soon. I will do, Jacko. Good. Thanks for mentioning that. And Jose is saying here, so no Sean Johnson. Any word on why this is? You think he's still injured? Yeah, I think he's still not quite 100% fully fit there. So I think that is why he has not been named for this game. So I think for me, I was hoping he'd be back for this game against the Cowboys, but look, it's not right. You don't risk it. You don't risk it for the long term of the whole season, for sure. So, Richard's saying here, Mark Graham legend, can't wait to see that. And also, hello to Greg in the chat. Hope you're doing well, Greg. He says, I can't wait for the Wars this weekend. Absolutely. We all can't wait for the Wars this weekend. We definitely missed our Warriors footy last week with the bye. Definitely had withdrawals, not watching the team play. But Richard's saying here that JF at prop. Yeah, I'm just saw that and I was a bit surprised, really surprised by that selection by Andrew Webster, by Webby. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I've not seen Jackson Ford at prop at all. Don't think we've ever seen him play at prop at the Warriors. This will be the first. Quite surprised actually, because I don't know how we'll go there. I'm really interested to see how he goes there. I did expect Barnett to be at prop and Niokore, and I did expect Niokore to be on the bench, but really surprised with the fact that they've gone with Jackson Ford at prop. Really surprised you. So I'm quite intrigued to see how that all goes, really. So Mel's just saying it sounds good to me, that lineup. Yeah, it's definitely a good quality lineup. I like what we've gone with this week. I am surprised with some of the selections. I'm not going to lie here, like with Jackson Ford being at prop there. Murata Niokore getting a start. I know he played well the other week, but I probably thought he was going to be on the bench again this week. But yeah, Jacko's saying here that Sean Johnson staying back instead of Longtrail should be back next week for the Storm game. Yeah, probably. Yeah, should be. Hopefully that's the case there. And Richard's saying I don't mind Sean Johnson resting his injury. Yeah, absolutely, I don't mind for sure. I really don't mind that. You can't go into this game playing an injured Sean Johnson if he's not fully fit. And the Cowboys would definitely target that if that's the case. So I think that's probably the correct move by Webby, in my opinion. But look, like I say, I've got full faith in Chanel and Tamari Martin, who've done the job the last couple of weeks for the team. And I think they'll do pretty well this weekend against the Cowboys. Tamari Martin also coming up his former team as well in Townsville. So we remember that Tamari Martin used to play for the Cowboys. So he'll want a big game. He'll definitely want a big game to stake his place and stay in the team over the next couple of weeks with Sean coming back as well. And Jose is saying sound good to me, Jackie. Absolutely. And it could be an inspired move. Jacko's tough and quite hard to handle. Yeah. Actually, that's probably a fair point. On Jackson Ford there in that prop position. It's quite different. It's quite different to what I would have gone with. But, I'm not the coach. I'm just a fan sitting here and giving my opinion. So, whatever Webby picks, we trust him on what his selections are. We definitely trust on what he does in terms of his selections there for sure. But I like the looks of our bench, with Dylan Walker, Jace Tavanga, Tom Ale. Kurt Capewell is an interesting one. Now, I know some people are really high on Kurt Capewell, but look, hopefully he plays well. Hopefully he comes out and proves a point, plays well, and proves a point proves me wrong. But he has been injured quite a lot this season. So, look, we'll see how he goes over the next couple of weeks. But it'll be interesting to see how he does. But I'm also no Bunty. Really surprised with no Bunty. I don't know whether that's an injury or that's just the call that Webby has made. Really shocked that he's actually not on the bench or on the 17 altogether. Actually, and usually he's in the team. So whether that's an injury, I'm not too sure, or it's just a call that Webby's made. I don't know. Let me guys know in the chat if you guys, what are your thoughts there on Bunty being named in the reserves and not starting or being on the bench? Because I think that's an interesting call there. I don't quite understand why he's named in the reserves. I'm really surprised by that. Actually, usually we see Bunty in the side, but hey, that's Webby's call, and he's made some big bold calls, definitely. With the likes of Bunty being dropped out of the side altogether and no Freddie Lusk on the bench, because usually we see the likes of Freddie Lusk, Bunty, or Fowler somewhere on the bench or on the team. So, hey, there are some big calls that Webby has to make with this team over the next couple of weeks. He's got a coaching headache, and it's not an easy team to select based on form. So, Mel's just saying here that Bunty deserves the start, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Bunty has been doing quite well. I mean, look, I've been pretty critical of Bunty last season due to his form. Yes, he's been pretty good defensively, but last year, probably based on the fact that his meters he makes, the impact he makes wasn't great last year in terms of the runs. But, look, he's proven me wrong this year. He's definitely proven me wrong, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. And I think he's been playing great. So that's why I'm a bit surprised. Shocked, actually, that he's not even on the bench. And they've gone with the likes of a Kurt Capewell and a Tom Ale over a Bunty Fire, which really surprised me. Really surprises me. I think Tom Ale's been playing okay, but I don't know if he's been playing better than Bunty Fire, in my opinion. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts here? Let me know in the chat. But that's what I think personally. But yeah, scary. Possibly 6 to back up from State of Origin. Yeah, actually, just looking at it, just looking at it. Yeah, 6 players to back up from Origin could be quite a scary prospect, definitely for sure. Tahi Bro, hope you're doing well, Tahi Bro. Hello to you in the chat there. And Jacko's just saying here that Bunty was carrying an injury not long ago. Maybe it's just a niggle keeping him home instead of travel. That could be the case, Jacko. That definitely could be the case. You've got to remember, we are travelling. We are going up to Townsville. And, yeah, it's a bit of it's not a long flight, but hey, it's still a journey to get to Australia. But, yeah, you could be right on that one. Definitely could be right. And Jose is just saying here, if Barnett does play tomorrow, if Barnett does play, I think Bunty will come in as prop and Jackson fourth, second row, getting Marata back to the bench. Yeah, that's probably a real possibility there for sure. Just looking at it, like, yeah, Barney's been named to start, but he's in the reserves for the New South Wales Blues, so he probably definitely won't. Look, I don't see him playing for New South Wales tomorrow, so he'll probably be back in New Zealand. And ready to play, to travel to play the Cowboys in Townsville. So it's a bit of will be interesting to see if he does line up. But yeah, and Richard's saying here, Capewell better have a blinder, mate. Yeah, but personally, I haven't been sold on Capewell since he's come to the club. Since he's had some games, like. I know he's been out with injuries as well, but when he's started, like, he hasn't really set the world on fire, in my opinion. Some may disagree with me, that's fine, but I just feel like it's, look, going into the off season, I wasn't a big fan of signing, to be honest, of Capewell. I know he's an experienced player, brings plenty to the table, but yeah, look, I'll be happy to prove him wrong if over the next couple of weeks if he does play well, but. So far, still not quite convinced. On a Capewell signing. But yeah, look, Jacko's is saying here it's a long journey, often a couple of hours sitting in Brisbane for a connecting flight. Yeah, it absolutely is. Got to remember that too. They are going on a connecting flight, so it's not a straight trip from Auckland to Townsville from my memory there. But absolutely right there. But look, that's the Warriors team. I really do like our team this week. Sum it up, Wade Egan back is a good inclusion for us, especially what he brings to the table defensively and attack-wise. The bench is strong as well. I like the looks of our bench. And we've got some good players to call upon in the reserves with Fred Lussick-Tane and Kossi if we have some injuries during the week. But yeah, looking at that team, it's probably the best team we can line up with this week for this game. And yeah, looking forward to the game on Saturday. But guys, I will definitely go through both team list, Cowboys and the Warriors, with Nick tonight on the YouTube channel. So tune in for that one. We'll be previewing the game at 7:30 Australian time, 9:30 New Zealand time. So make sure you come back in a couple of hours. We're going to preview the game, Warriors Cowboys, go into the team list in a bit more in depth, chat about key battles, stats, and predictions, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll be doing that later on in a couple of hours at 7:30 Australian time, 9:30 New Zealand time. So tune in for the preview Warriors Cowboys with Nick from Australia and myself as well. So that's the team list out of the way. Chat about the team list there. So we'll get into the NRL tips now for this week's games. If you guys got any more questions, keep putting them through the chat. If you do, any comments, feel free to put them through, guys. Also, if you haven't done so already, and you are watching this live stream or watching this video back, make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you click that thumbs up button. And if you haven't done so already and you're a new viewer to the channel, please give this channel a subscribe. We're 8 subscribers away from the 2,700 subscriber mark. And yeah, we're trying to get to 3K subscribers by the end of the 2024 NRL season. So it's absolutely free. Doesn't cost anything. It all helps the channel, gets the word out about the videos and the content. And there's plenty of content to come over the next few weeks, especially with the games coming thick and fast. So yeah, so let's get into it now. The tips for NRL round 14. That's right. So Friday night, the 7th of June, they've got the Dragons, St. George Illawarra Dragons, taking on the West Tigers. So this game has been played at Wynn Stadium, Wollongong Stadium there. And the Dragons, surprisingly, coming off that win over the Panthers last week. Penrith under strength, of course, due to the origin. But look, the Dragons were missing some players as well. So look, it was a big win for the Dragons down there in Penrith. Not an easy place to go and get a result. As for the Tigers, look, obviously, still a real tough season. Look, Benji's not doing too badly with the players he's got. Very young squad. So just looking at it here, this game kicks off at 8 o'clock Australia time. Of course, it's on Sky Sports in New Zealand, so Fox KO here in Australia. So just looking at the team list, so the Dragons have pretty much named. Have they got any of the Origin players backing up? I don't think they do. Actually, looking at the reserves, they've got the likes of Zach Lomax, Jaden Sue, and Ben Hunt been named in the reserves. So it'll be interesting to see whether those players do line up for this game. Will there be a late inclusions or a couple of hours before kickoff? Which should be interesting to see if they do back up. But I don't think all of them will. I think the likes of Ben Hunt will play. Maybe a Zach Lomax will play against the Tigers here. But as for the Tigers lineup, yeah, look, it's a very young team. And hello to Ryan. Good greetings, Ryan. Hope you're doing well in the chat there. But yeah, look, as for this one, I think I'm going to go with the Dragons here. I'm going to go with the Dragons in this game. Now, I'm going to say Dragons 1-12. Actually, no, we'll go Dragons by probably 10 points at least at home. So the Dragons are a very tricky team to get a read on. 1 week they're getting win over a team like the Penrith Panthers, which you don't expect. And the next week, they're really disappointing and lose to someone you don't expect them to lose to. So it really is hard to get a read on the Dragons this season. Really is quite difficult. Look, the Tigers, obviously just probably still, they're still rebuilding. They're definitely still rebuilding. Benji's got a very young team, and he's trying his hardest here, but it's not easy for the Tigers at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to go Dragons. Dragons for me by 10 points. And look, first try score we'll go with. I'll go with Moses Suli to score, and anytime we'll go with Tyros Sloan. Yeah, I think the Dragons will probably win this one, and I think they'll do enough. And look, it wouldn't surprise me if they won 13 plus, but with the Dragons, you just don't know. That this is a game where they could end up losing. That's the thing. So it's hard to get a read on them. Ryan's just saying his Staines at centre is interesting. Yeah, I just saw that. Really interesting. I'm a bit bit surprised actually by that one, because Charlie Staines, we used to see him on the wing or fullback. So this is a new position for Charlie Staines. I personally think it is. I haven't seen him there before for sure. So yeah, I don't know how we'll go there. Really, I don't know how we'll go, but. You've got Lachlan Galvin there, very good young talent for the Tigers. I think he's the future for the Tigers. They've got to make sure they keep him long term. Jaden Sullivan as well. They've got, their forwards are pretty decent, very strong forwards, good young players there with Stefano as well. You got Seyfarth, 12. That's not a bad forward pick. It's definitely not a bad forward pick, but I just think the Dragons will do enough for me. Jose is just saying here, I've been backing the Tigers all year, waiting for them to become good like they have beat the Sharks. I'll go the Dragons for this one. Yeah, that's a fair point. Jose. It's definitely a fair point. I just can't tip the Tigers at the moment. Hey, if they're playing the Titans at home, I'll probably be tipping the Tigers, but I just can't tip them, really. I just can't at the moment. But hey, I'd love to see the Tigers do well. I really would. Personally don't. I think it'd be good for the comp if they were doing much better in the NRL. Hopefully they can get back to their best real soon. But it's just going to take more time. I think the Tigers fans are probably just going to have to be a bit more patient. It's not going to be a quick fix for Benji at the moment. So, but hey, fingers crossed for that. Well, they can find their best real soon. So, yeah, look, for me, it's got to be the Dragons to win this game. They've got to win. They've got to win this game. I'll be shocked if they don't. I'll be shocked. But yeah, the next game now, Saturday. So Saturday sees the Gold Coast Titans versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and boy, this game, really very intrigued by it because it's not one of the best games of the round, as two teams who have been struggling this season. Now, I've got to say the Titans, though, have shown a lot more improvement over the past couple of weeks. There have been some games where they probably could have won as well and got 2 points, especially. So I think this game is probably the battle of the wooden spoon. As much as pains me as much as I don't want to say it, it is a battle of the bottom 4 teams in the comp. So, yeah, look, Jose's just saying here, let's go Rabbitohs. Yeah, now this game, I will say, I probably will be attending this game. Nick from Australia and I think CJ are coming up for this game on the Gold Coast. So I'll probably be attending this one with them here to watch as a neutral footy fan. So I'll probably be attending this game. I know the Warriors game is afterwards, so probably pop into the pub afterwards and watch the Warriors game after this game. So this game's on at 3 o'clock as well. It's the early kickoff time. So just looking at the Bunnies and their team list, we've got fullback Latrell Mitchell, Alex Johnson, Tane Milne, Richard Kenner, Jacob Gagai, and Jack Wyden, 5'8" with Cody Walker, David Moali, Damien Cook, and Sean Kepi with Michael Cheekhams, Jai Arrow, and Keon Komatangi. For the Titans, they have who's in? I've got Keno Kenny, their fullback. Kian Lofekan Pereira. Kieran Foran is back. That's a big in for the Titans. That'll be a huge in for them, as they definitely need. Well, they definitely need a player back, and that's what they've been struggling for. And yeah, Ryan's the same. This could be a game for Fixer and Spoony. Absolutely could be. Titans have been really competitive lately, but I think the Rabbitohs will be up for this game. Should be close. I have for the soft spot for the Tigers only because I've loved Benji. That's a fair point, Richard. And Ryan is saying the same here. So, yeah, I just find this game a flip of a coin, really, when you think about it. Two teams that are struggling, sitting where they are, sitting at the bottom of the ladder. Look, I am going to tip the Rabbitohs purely based on, I don't know. It's tricky. I'll go with the Rabbitohs in this one. I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs. I'm going to go Rabbitohs by 12 points at least. And this is a game which could be a high-scoring one. It really could be. So I'll say first try scorer, we'll go with Latrell Mitchell there. Anytime we'll go with Alex Johnston. Titans player, we'll go with, I'm going to say Philip Sami for the Titans as anytime try scorer and Brian Kelly. So I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs by 12 in this game. And look, just a tricky game to call, really tricky game to call. But Cody Walker is back, which is a huge in. And he returns from calf injury as well, which is massive for the Bunnies. And Jack White in the halves with Cody Walker as well. And Michael Cheekham moving into the back row. So, yeah, I think the Bunnies will do it just for me. But Ryan is saying here, my gut is saying the Rabbits. Yeah, that's probably what I think would happen. And hello to King Julian in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while. Good to see you, King Julian. He's saying, see no Hines and the Sharks against my Broncos this week makes me more confident we'll beat them. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that game real soon there. King Julian, good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well there yourself. But that is the So I've gone with the Rabbitohs there, 1-12, guys. So yeah, Rabbitohs for me by 12 points at least. Cowboys Warriors, we'll skip that game because I'll be doing a preview and predictions with Nick from Australia. So please tune in for that one tonight on the channel. So we've got the Broncos now. Brisbane Broncos taking on the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. This game is on at 7:35 p.m. my time, Australia time. Just looking at the team list for this one, I see that Reece Walsh's name is up on the list there for starting at fullback, so it looks like he will be backing up on Saturday after Origin 1. So he's there. Any other changes? Just look at the Broncos. So they've named Paddy Kerrigan, Selwyn Cobbo, Reece Walsh, and Payne Haas to back up. With Tristan Saylor, Fletcher Bacon, Martin Tapau named in the reserves if required. And Tony Staggs is back from a rib injury as well. He returns in the centres with Selwyn Cobbo there as well. As for the Sharks, just looking at their team, so there's no Nicholas Hines in the starting side. So he has been rested. And Daniel Atkinson, Braden Trindle are the halves this week. Cameron McInnes has been named to back up with Jack Williams to the bench. Tay Wilden is out with a shoulder injury, and he's replaced by Sifa Talakai as well there. So that is the Sharks team. So Jose, just going to the chat again, guys. So if the Sharks lose 3 in a row, are they truly pretenders? I personally think that loss a couple of weeks ago showed some cracks again against Penrith. So I know the Sharks, they were hyped up quite much after their win a couple of weeks ago against the Roosters. So, yeah, look, I think if they lose 3 in a row, I think personally for me that is probably a sign that they're not premiership contenders. I think that might be a big call to make, but I just think that if you can't lose a couple in a row, and be near the top of the ladder and be called premiership contenders. So I actually think that they can't afford to lose. I don't think they can afford to lose 3 in a row, personally, in my opinion. But yeah, so Ryan is just saying, agree, Julian, but I can see 1 or 2 Broncos Origin players being rested, even though they're named to play. Jose is saying up the wires, 13 plus for Jose. That's his prediction for that game. The soft spot doesn't exist when the Wires play the Tigers, though, no mercy. And Julian's saying here, King Julian's saying here, the Broncos 1-12. Edmond, Dufty, don't they have plays in Origin? They do. Edmond, Dufty, hope you're doing well yourself. They definitely do. Both these teams are affected with Origin players playing on Wednesday night, tomorrow night. But the fact that the Broncos have got Reece Walsh back in there, Selwyn Cobbo, the likes of an Ezra Mann, just looking at their team, I think for me they've probably got the strongest side out of the teams. And the Sharks not having Nicholas Hines, that's I think that's for me persuaded me to go and tip the Broncos here in this one. But even if Hines is playing, I probably would have still tipped Brisbane, being at Suncorp, being at home. We know they're quite tough to beat down there in Brisbane. So I'm going to go with the Broncos to win this game. We'll say Broncos. I'm going to go Broncos by. I think they'll win well. I have a feeling they'll win this well, actually. I'm going to go Broncos by 16 points. And some people might think that's a big call. Well, I'm going to go with the Broncos by 16. I think they'll win this well. I don't know. Something gives me a vibe that the Broncos at home in Queensland on a Saturday will get up and get the win. I think they'll be too strong. But look, the Sharks will definitely want a big performance for sure. I think they'll definitely want a big performance, but I think they'll be too strong, the Broncos, for me. I think they'll get it done. And look, first try score, we'll go with. I'll go Corey Oates, first try scorer. And anytime try score, we'll say Ronaldo Mulitalo for the Sharks and Jesse Raymond. But yeah, Broncos, I think they'll be too good. Jose saying Broncos 1-12. And Warriors Fanatics is I am a Queensland supporter. Yep. Edmond Dufty. I did my preview earlier in the stream, so if you want to go and watch that back, feel free to do so. Because I'm not going to repeat my tip again because I've already given my preview and tips earlier on the stream. So go back on the live stream earlier and check that out. But yeah, that's my tip. Broncos to be too good. Now to the Sunday games now. So Sunday is the Newcastle Knights and Melbourne Storm down there at Amy Park in Melbourne. This game kicks off at 2 o'clock actually. So a 2 o'clock game in Melbourne, which is pretty rare. Pretty rare to see a game at 2 o'clock in Melbourne. Just looking at the team list. So any changes? So no, Harry Grant and Xavier Coates are named back up for Origin. So they actually are named to play. And Craig Bellamy pretty much used the same lineup as round 13. Obviously, the Storm had the bye last week. But Will Rawbrook is out due to a groin injury. And Grant Anderson moves from the bench. And Bronson Garrett comes into the bench to cover at hooker. For the Knights, they have not made any changes to the lineup, which lost 32-2 to the Bulldogs last week down in Newcastle. Huge surprise there, actually. I was expecting a few changes for the Knights this week against the Storm, considering that loss to the Dogs, which was a disappointing performance by the Knights, definitely for sure. But they've stuck solid with the team they lined up with last week, and have stuck loyal with the players that they have at the moment from last week's game. So, yeah, look, regards to this one, I'm going to go with the Storm here. Melbourne at home for me. Look, I think they will get the job done. Jose saying Melbourne Storm 1-12. Interesting. He's gone with a close game. Storm has got William Pearson's a Storm fan. Obviously, he's going to tip the Storm, and he's gone Storm 13+. And Ryan, it's hard to be on the Knights with any confidence after they leaked. Look, versus the Bulldogs. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, for sure. Although in saying that, I tipped the Bulldogs last week, but I did not expect the Bulldogs to win by that much against the Knights down there in Newcastle. And King Julian saying here that Storm 20+, Storm easy. Yeah, I think that's too strong. I agree with you, King Julian. I'm going to go with the Storm by 20 points. I'm going to go with the same margin as you, King Julian. I think the Storm will be too strong. I just don't see the Knights going down there and beating the Storm. A fresh Melbourne Storm side off a bye as well. And the Knights struggled for points last week. So, yeah. And our first try scorer, I forgot to give my first try scorer anytime try scorer as well. So, apologies there. So, first try scorer, we'll go with Nick Meaney. We'll go with Nick Meaney for the Storm. Anytime we'll go with David Armstrong. And another Storm player will say probably Xavier Coates. So, yeah, those are my predictions for that game. Now to the final game to wrap up round 14. Obviously, we've got a few teams having the bye this week as well, so not a full round of footy. We've got the Penrith Panthers taking on the Manly Seagulls. Now, this game is being played in Penrith. Now, early this year, Manly actually did beat the Penrith Panthers down there at Brookvale Oval. Now, just looking at the team list here, so Manly got Lehigh Hopewadi at fullback again this week. So he had a good performance in their previous game. I thought he had a strong performance in his debut. So just looking at this, the halfback there, Cherry Evans is named back up from Origin. The likes of Hamola Olakwadu is also being named as well in the second row for the Seagulls also. So those players are backing up. Even Jake Travojevic as well. Penrith, looking at their side here. So Dane Laurie still at fullback, of course, with Edwards injured. Brad Schneider has lost his place in the team. And Jack Cole's been named at 5'8", with Jerome Lloyd backing up also for the Panthers after Origin game 1 on Wednesday night. And Yeah, looking at the team. So, yeah, Luke Garner's back from a leg injury. He's on the bench. Moses Leota has been named despite a hamstring injury against the Dragons. So, it looks like Leota is going to be playing despite the injury that he picked up. And at the Seagulls, Tommy Talau moving to the wing, and Raymond Tuamalo Vanga dropping out as well. And Jake Simpkins, the new signing, is in the reserves as well there. So just looking at the chat now, so Williams is saying here that Panthers 13 plus, Panthers by 14 for King Julian, and Panthers by 1 to 12 for Hosea. And King Julian saying Panthers with all their backups, Panthers 13 plus, surely. Yeah, look, I think I don't think this will be 13 plus. I think it's a bit. I think Manly, look, they're a real chance. I think they're a real chance in this game. I give them a real chance for them to pull off a surprising upset. But I don't think they'll do it the second time around. I think it'll be a massive result if they can go to Penrith and beat this Panthers side, away from home, and do it two times in a row this year. If they can pick up a win, it's back-to-back wins against Penrith this season for the Manly Seagulls. But I don't think Penrith will lose after last week. I think they'll be keen to bounce back. I'm going to go Panthers here, 1 to 12. I don't think it'll be 13 plus. Manly did smash the Storm last time out. Yes, they did for sure, Jose. They absolutely did. And you can't write off Manly. You can't write them off in this game. I think saying 13 pluses. I don't think it'll be 13 plus. I think people writing off Manly for this game, I think it's a bit wrong, in my opinion. I think Manly are definitely a chance. So I don't think if Penrith win, I think it'll be 1 to 12 at least. So I'm going to go Panthers. I'm going to go Panthers by 8 in this game. Yeah, I think they will get the win, but it won't be an easy game. Don't write off this Manly side, in my opinion. I don't think you should. But Penrith should bounce back. They should really bounce back and win at home. They've got Luai back as well, which is a big for them as he's backing up. So I'll go first try score. We'll say I'll go with we'll go with soon after River first try. Anytime we'll go Ruben Garrick anytime. Paul Alamote anytime as well. So, yeah, Panthers will win this game by 8, in my opinion. And I think they will get the 2 points. Guys, we've got to remember this Penrith side aren't unbeatable. I think people need to stop thinking that Penrith are unstoppable this year. They're not unstoppable. I know they still don't have Nathan Cleary, but look, I'm saying that they've got the likes of Jerome Luai and that. So, they're not unbeatable. The Warriors show that against them. The Dragons show that. They're not hot favourites to win the comp this year. I think they're definitely favourites, but I don't think they are unbeatable this season. That's what I think personally. And Ryan's just saying here that Penrith usually respond to a loss well, but I won't be surprised if Manly win. Yeah, they usually do. They respond after a loss, and we saw that against the Sharks. They absolutely towered up the Sharks, who are at full strength. So, look, I wouldn't be surprised if they won 13 plus. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and just put on a scoreline, but I don't think Manly are a team will be, I don't think Manly will be a team that, get their pants pulled down by Penrith. I mean, I know the Sharks did, but I just don't think that will be the case. And, look, I agree, Ryan. Yeah, Panthers really lose 2 in a row. Yeah, it definitely will be a good game. I think it's probably one of the games of the round, I think, personally. The games that have gone through this so far, I think this is probably one of the games of the round, personally. But Jose is saying here, Penrith have a lot of errors in their game. They definitely do. So, and King Julian's just going on here to say Para to beat the Dogs 1 to 12 and Moses Guffer back, but I think they'll be too good. And our B team did a good job on them. Nobody had much hope, but we got the win. Yeah, definitely. And King Julian's just saying your Panthers are quite beatable. You're right. Panthers have lost 4 games this year already. Yeah, and it's probably the more they've lost already throughout last year at this point of the season when you think about it. They didn't lose this many games at this stage of the season. I think they lost probably 2 or 3 from my memory. If I'm wrong, correct me there, but that's what I remember from last season. But hey, look, Panthers to win, and they will get the win. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Seagulls got up. Really, I wouldn't be shocked. Now to the next game, and there's a game on Monday here. A game on Monday, so I think there's a public holiday in New South Wales. So that's why it says here there's a game on the Monday, the 10th of June, which is interesting. And it says the Bulldogs, Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, who, boy, they've been on the improve lately, haven't they? They've definitely shown some good performances over the last couple of weeks. Cameron Serrato's got that team going pretty well, and they're taking on the Parramatta Eels, who themselves are coming off a win, which they really needed at home last week, with the likes of Moses back, who was very strong for them. Gufferson as well. Look, the Eels really missed Moses and Gufferson. You can definitely tell that. Having them back was a huge boost for them last week, especially. And that performance for the Eels was a very good performance. Look, regards to this game, they're up against the Dogs. Now, two teams who are rivals. They are definitely arch rivals in themselves. And the Dogs, just looking at the Dogs here, so they've got no Addo Carr there. He is an out. Stephen Crichton is he named in the reserves? Just looking at it, is he named in the reserves, or he's named to start? He's named to start for this game. So Stephen Crichton has been named to back up for this game. So I'm intrigued to see if he will back up in this game. Hopefully, for the Dogs fans' sake, he is playing. But if he's not, they will be calling on someone else to fill that void there. Also, Kobe Sexton has been named at halfback this week. Matt Burton also lining up 5/8 spot there. And just looking at any other changes, Drew Hutchinson's been named in the reserves there. And Blaise Talangi is replacing Bailey Simonson in the back line. So he's been named in the back line for this game. And also, Sean Russell has moved on to the wing as well. Jermaine Hopgood has been named to back up for the Eels, and he's starting in the side with Ryan Madison in the reserves. So that is the team changes for both sides. Just looking at it there. So we'll go into the chat and have a look at everyone's tips for this one. So hello to Neutralizer. He is saying here the Eels 1-12. And Richard saying, next Thursday, Jose. And the State of Origin ladies is on Thursday. Yep. State of Origin, the Women's State of Origin is on Thursday night. That should be good as well. Sold out in Newcastle. They're going to get a good record crowd there. So Women's Origin, man, it's great to watch. I think it's come on leaps and bounds over the years, Women's State of Origin, Women's Rugby League as a whole. So, looking forward to that one on Thursday night. That should be good. So you got the Origin men on Wednesday and the Women's State of Origin on Thursday. So it should be a good one. But last game was good, Richard. Looking forward to it. Absolutely. And King Julian's is saying he Eels 1-12, and Ryan's saying he love a Monday game. And this is my game of the round, reckons Ryan. Look, I think it could be. I think the Eels Bulldogs game could definitely be the game of the round. Would have said that early in this year, especially with these two teams. The Eels, look, I know they're not going great. They're not where they want to be on the ladder, but if they can get a win here, they will, they'll be pretty confident, going forward. They can give them a bit of a lift over the next couple of weeks, which they will need to win this game, the Eels, to have any chance of, mathematically keeping themselves in the finals race at the end of the year. So, but the women's game is awesome. That absolutely is, Richard. It is absolutely, and I don't know why people criticise the women's game. I think it's great to watch personally. I think the skills are great. The talent all across the board is awesome, and women's rugby league is showing immense improvement. Look, at the start, I probably wasn't a big fan, high on it, but watching the games, the NRL women's competition, and the State of Origin series, I'm more of a fan of women's rugby league now than I was back then. back a couple of years ago. So it's good to see. It's great to see, and the players that they have also. But yeah, that's the tips. That's all the games actually, and just go through my my tip here. I'm going to go with the Parramatta Eels on this one actually. Over the Dogs. I'm going to go Parramatta by 4 points in a close one. First try score will say, we'll go with. I'm going to go with the Dogs player. We'll go with Jacob Kraz. Anytime we'll go with Will Palacini to score for this one. But for me, I'm going to go with the Parramatta Eels in a close tight match by 4 points in this game. And the neutraliser is saying here grand final 24 winners, Canberra Raiders. So, yeah, so that is it. That's my tips, guys. That pretty much wraps it up for the stream. Gone for 1 hour here. Given my tips for the round. I've gone through my predictions for Origin as well and preview that game. So, thanks to everyone for tuning in and watching. Please, guys, don't forget to give the stream a like as well. Click that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you're liking the stream, liking the video back. Also, if you are a new viewer to the YouTube channel, please also don't forget to make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well. Click that subscribe button down below if you are a new viewer to the channel and haven't done so already. It's absolutely free as well. It's much appreciated. Helps the channel, shows your support for the content that I do. And yeah, gets the word about the videos and the content. And there's plenty of content to come, guys. Plenty of videos, live streams every week, weekly. So stay tuned for that. Previews, reviews, collabs with content creators and guests as well. So stay tuned. I've got one coming up tonight at 7:30 Australia time. Tune in for that one with special guests, NRL content creator and Cowboys fan, Nick from Australia. We're going to preview the Cowboys Warriors game. So 7:30 my time, 9:30 New Zealand time. Tune in. And we've got preview chat about the game coming up, Warriors Cowboys. But enjoy State of Origin tomorrow night. Enjoy the Origin, Queensland Maroons, New South Wales Blues. And yeah, we'll see you guys in a couple of hours to preview the Cowboys Warriors game. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and have a good one. Cheers. Have a good one, everyone.